Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Well, last week we learned a funk rhythm, so that was lesson number EP112, and I asked you, the ActiveMelody community, to contribute your versions of what a lead part might be for that. And so I had lots of awesome submissions come in through the ActiveMelody forum, and thank you to everybody that did it. Everybody did a great job, and this was a lot of fun for me. So what I did was I listened to all of the parts, and I just pulled out what I thought were the most interesting and put them into a compilation, and that's what we're going to take a listen to. So what you're about to hear is actually a lead part that was not developed by me. All I did was just pull it together. It was developed by you. And so we're going to listen to it first, and then we're going to break it down and learn it note for note. So let's take a listen. Alright, so as we go through the lesson and start learning these licks, I'll call out who the lick came from, and I'll even play the original version so you can hear that, and then you can see how I interpreted it. So, alright, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I hope the one thing that you walk away from in this lesson is watching how I can listen to your songs and then pull out little parts. Some of them are very small, and then take those parts and put them together and create my own solo. Because that's really what playing lead is. It's really a compilation and a combination of inspiration that you pull from other artists that you like. And so that's what I hope you can pick up in this lesson, is just kind of seeing how, at least how I do it. So, alright, so tone settings, I'm playing through, it's just clean channel in the amp with a little reverb. You don't need any pedals for this. In fact, you can do this on an acoustic guitar as well if that's all you have. But I am using a flashback TC electronic pedal, which is a delay pedal. You don't have to have that, but I'm using it just for a little slapback delay. So the guitar is on the guitar pickup selector switch is on the middle pickup. Tone and volume are all the way up. So that's the tone settings for this. Pretty simple. Okay, so we're going to start with lick 1, which was submitted by Bryce. Now Bryce, his actual handle is bryce.akguitar. Anyway, Bryce is a very active member of the ActiveMelody forum. He's always on there offering lots of support and encouragement, and he's just a great asset to the ActiveMelody community. So I just want to say thank you to you, Bryce, for all that you do and all you contribute. And Bryce has come a long way with his playing, too. I've enjoyed watching the videos that he submits. And so this first lick was one that he came up with, and this is what we're going to learn. It sounds like this. So let's go ahead and play Bryce's version of that, and then we'll break it down. Alright, so this is in the A minor pentatonic scale, pattern 1. And if you don't know what I mean when I say pattern 1, I explain the 5 different patterns in the blues lead course at ActiveMelody.com. So this is pattern 1. Pattern 1. This is right there. So when we come in, or when Bryce comes in, it starts on the 5th fret, 5th string with the ring finger, and we're going to slide up to the 7th fret. That's your first thing. Then we're going to go to the 5th fret, 4th string, 7th fret, 4th string, and then we're going to do this. And for that, we got a downstroke and an upstroke. So downstroke, upstroke. The downstroke happens on the 5th fret 3rd string, and the upstroke's on the 7th fret 4th string. So if we put it all together, we have Okay, now the next thing that happens is, I love that. And what he's doing for that is barring the first 3 strings on the 5th fret, and we're going to come to the 3rd string and play, doing a hammer on there with the ring finger, on the 3rd string between the 5th and 7th fret, and then up to the 2nd string on the 5th fret. Now watch this. So after we play that, we're going to come back and we're going to pick the 7th fret 3rd string, and as soon as I pick it, I can do a pull off and then do a hammer on to the 7th fret 4th string. So it's alright. So let me put all those notes together. We have, and the timing of it is just dot 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 dot. There's no breaks in it. Okay, and then after that, I played the 3rd string on the 5th fret with some vibrato, and then we concluded that lick on the 7th fret 4th string. So if we put it all together, we have. Alright, so the next lick is from Tom Van Bladel, or Bladel, I'm not sure how you say the last name, but anyway, Tom had some interesting stuff, and this one lick I heard went like this. I love that, having the A string ring out while I played this kind of minor, natural minor scale. Anyway, let's listen to how Tom did it. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't play it exactly the way that Tom did, but pretty close. So I wanted to start it the same way that Bryce's lick started, which is like that, because it matched what Bryce had already done. So we've already learned that part. It's the first 3 notes of Bryce's lick, the previous one. Now watch this. After that, we're going to play the low A, so that's an A note. Now we're going to play an octave lower, which is the open 5th string. And what's nice about that is you can just let that ring out, and then watch this. So all of that was played on the 3rd string. It starts here on the 5th fret while that A note is ringing out. And then we're going to play the 4th fret on the 3rd string. Then back to the 5th. And then watch this. We're going to slide up to the 9th. And we start that slide on the 7th fret. So it's very dark sounding, you know. It's kind of got a real, I don't know, kind of a spooky sound to it, but I liked it. I thought it really matched what Bryce was doing. So the 2 parts, although completely different people and completely different whatever, they kind of work together. I thought they do anyway. Alright, so the next lick comes from Charjo. I think that's how you pronounce that. Or John. He's also another very active site member on the forums. And so most of his lick, or his little solo that he came up with, was in the natural minor scale, which is kind of interesting. We usually play most of the stuff on ActiveMelodies in the minor pentatonic scale, and I'll explain what the natural minor scale is. But let me go through his lick first. Here's what we're going to learn. So that's going between the natural minor scale and the minor pentatonic scale. What is the natural minor scale? Real, in a nutshell, it's the same thing as the minor pentatonic scale. There's just 2 extra notes. So here's the minor pentatonic scale. This is the bottom 3 strings of it in pattern 1, right? Let me show you those 2 extra notes that make it the natural minor scale. There's one, 7th fret 6th string. There's the other one, 8th fret 5th string. So it's also known as the Aeolian mode. The Aeolian mode. Aeolian mode and the natural minor scale are the same thing. But anyway, that scale, so some of you say, well, why use that one versus the minor pentatonic scale? It just has those 2 extra notes, which gives it a little different coloring. You can almost get a jazzier feel, I think, by adding those. Or even a darker feel. You know, when Tom did that, it had that real kind of dark sound, and it's coming from that natural minor. So, okay, now let's learn these notes. So the first 4 notes we're going to learn, you play them kind of quickly. Starts here on the 5th string, 7th fret. And I use my ring finger for this. Pinky on the 8th fret, 5th string. Then we're on the 5th fret, 4th string. 7th fret, 4th string. And that's what you're going to want to practice at first, is just learning those 4 notes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Then watch this. So see, again, we're coming over here and playing this note, which is outside of the minor pentatonic scale, right? So minor pentatonic scale is there. So where is that? Well, that's part of that natural minor scale. So remember those 2 notes I showed you? Watch this. If we keep going up the pattern, see, there it is. So it's that note. There's your extra one. And then there's your extra one. Same as these 2. So okay. So anyway, that's why this note works. So let's back up. We have, there's the first 4 notes. And so it's the 4th fret, 3rd string. Then we're coming up to the 5th fret, 3rd string. Back to the 4th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 4th string, 5th fret, 4th string. Let's put it together. Now watch this. So after you're on that 7th fret, or sorry, that 5th fret, 4th string, you're going to reach up to the 8th fret, 3rd string, and I use my ring finger for that. And as soon as I hit it, I slide it down. That's the blue note. So if you're talking about, you hear some people refer to the blue note, it's the minor pentatonic scale, and you add this note in. So that's what that note is. That's why it has that real bluesy sound when you slide around. It's also why when you're bending, you're hitting that note. So okay, let me back up. We have, there's that slide down, 3rd string, so 8th fret to the 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret. Now watch this. 7th fret, 4th string. And then we're going to come, I'm going to come down and slide from the 5th, on the 5th string, from the 7th fret down to the 5th fret on the 5th string. And then come all the way down to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. And then slide back up from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the 4th string. And we're just kind of playing in the minor pentatonic scale for that. Alright, let's back up all the way to the beginning. Here's this lick. Okay, now the next lick comes from Tom Van Bladel. Alright, so the next thing is this little filler lick that I added in there. It just goes just to give it some, kind of conclude that part. And all I'm doing is barring the first 3 strings and playing strings 2 and 3 on the 5th fret. And then I hammer on to the 7th fret 3rd string, playing strings 2 and 3. Let go of that, so you're on the 5th fret 3rd string. And then the 7th fret 4th string. just kind of reinforces that statement. All right, so this last run comes from Tom Van Bladel again, and it concludes the rest of this part 1, and it goes. I love that. Thought it was perfect, those two parts together. So let's listen to the way that Tom did it. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't do it exactly note for note, but pretty close to the way that he did it. At least I think I got his vibe out of it. And so what I'm doing for that is I'm starting here on the 7th fret 3rd string and sliding up to the 9th fret 3rd string, my middle finger, 8th fret 2nd string, 10th fret 2nd string, and then watch this. 2 full bends, so you're trying to hit the 12th fret 2nd string when you do those bends. The second bend, giving it vibrato. That's hard to do. So if you can't do it, if you've got a tremolo or a whammy bar, that might make it easier for you. But if not, just try and, it's kind of in the wrist, I guess. It just takes a lot of practice to bend and hit a vibrato and hold the pitch. Okay. Now after that bend, we're going to do 2. And then come down and land on the 10th fret 3rd string. I love that because it kind of throws you for a loop a little bit. When I heard him do that, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't have thought to land on that note. And some of you are maybe wondering where we're at. We're in pattern 2. Pattern 2. So by landing on this note, some of you may be saying, hey, where are we at? Well, we're in pattern 2, right here, of the A minor pentatonic scale. But when we land on this note, that's part of the natural minor scale. Remember those 2 extra notes I showed you? Hear that note? Same note, it's just an octave higher. So that's why that works. It's part of that natural minor scale. Okay, so then the last part was just kind of a straight up blues in the minor pentatonic. It starts here actually. So I start here on the 7th fret 4th string, 5th fret 3rd string, and then watch this. As soon as we come to the 7th fret 3rd string, I go ahead and put my finger in position so my pointer finger is barring the first 2 strings on the 5th fret, and then I take both of these fingers and push. Go ahead and do a full bend there on the 7th fret 3rd string. So you can go bend, 2nd string, 1st string. Bend, 2nd string, 1st string. Very Chuck Berry. Okay. And then he comes down and plays this note, which is kind of a different way to think about it, but it's part of the minor pentatonic scale and it works. So that's the 8th fret 2nd string. And then I went, or Tom went. I came back to the 5th fret 2nd string, and then just did a full bend and release here. That's on the 7th fret 3rd string, 5th fret 3rd string, 7th fret 4th string. And that's part 1. Those are all the different parts and the contributors for them. So you can see it wasn't me. All I did was just assemble the parts. Let me back up. I'll play through everything slowly one more time so you have this as a reference. And then we'll move on to part 2 where we've got some more interesting stuff. So, all right, here we go. And if you don't want to learn the entire solo, if you just like certain licks and certain ones you don't like, awesome. That's what it's all about. Just finding those things that are interesting to you. So, all right, we'll see you in part 2.